How you going? G'day, champions. Oh, bear with me. I'm sick as a dog at the moment. Probably not going to be sounding too good as a result. Got sick last week and sort of got over that, and then Michelle caught it off me. And then maybe it was something different because I caught it back off her. So just had sickness bouncing between Michelle and I for the last fortnight. Not working very efficiently as a result. Alright, so we've got a Sidekick Reverb 30, just a solid state chucha from Japan. Let me just fix up that exposure up there. And that's one of the Fender Japan things. Let's fire it up and have a quick listen. Oh, oscillation. Well, that sounds lovely. Mic picking that up. Going up to 18 watts when it does that. Idles at 8. So that could be an open wafer on the pot below a certain or above a certain setting. Or it could be a bunch of other things. Does it do it with the guitar plugged in? Nope. So it could be a jack. Oh, my ears are distorting because they're blocked. How do you voice an amp when your ears are distorting? Just a sec. And she's gone. What do you tell an amp that's got two black eyes? Alright, so cracked solder joints, I dare say. It seems to only happen when it warms up a little. G'day everyone, how you going, legends? Hi Dad, how you going? I need you to send me some new FETs for that valve tester. It's got a shorted FET, a couple of blown resistors. But we'll talk about that later when I'm not sick. So I went to see some amazing music last weekend. I thought it was Thursday today. I literally, all morning I thought it was Thursday. Let me just have a listen to everything. shit. Alright, that's not clipping. It's showing me that it's clipping on the OBS, but OBS is dumb. Excuse me. So I'm going to be very sniffly and gross today. Are you sick before you put that amp on the bench? Pork chop express. Thanks, mate. $10. Next pack of cod drills are on me. I haven't found any of that stuff works at all to do anything. It's just, I don't know, it just tastes gross and it's a waste of fucking money. The only thing that helps is whiskey, bro. There you going, Lyle. Travis, Mark, Alex, the whole crew's here. I was sitting here in a state of just discontent about the world in general, and I thought, whenever I do that, not healthy, so let's do a live stream, get everyone's mind off shit. The old Plessy sticker falling off the back of the speaker. C12P. Was Plessy a Japanese company? I don't know. So this amp, the bloke's just had it forever, and he just, for sentimental reasons, he liked to get it up and running. And I did the same model, but the 65-watt version for him the other week, and there was no major issues. These amps are actually, they seem to be designed in Japan because they've got all the hallmarks of a Japanese design. It's almost reminiscent of their hi-fi stuff back then, and it tends to work for a very long time. Excuse me. Mark, it's snowing there, is it? Bloody hell, mate. Fucking eyes watering. I spent yesterday browning at a Mesa M2000. Fucking stupidest bass amp on the planet. 5 billion options that no one ever uses. So the customer's gone ahead with like $1,000 quote to get to the bottom of why the fucking channel switching's not working. And it appears that we've got two shorted logic chips, 74HC series, because they're dragging the inputs to ground instead of the pull-up resistors doing their job. And the output states aren't changing with any... Well, the input states aren't changing either, but yeah. There's nothing else it could be other than the chip. But the schematic's dumb and wrong. The circuit's dumb. And they've used like data transmission chips for switching channels. Because why not? Probably learned that trick from Marshall's fated 2205 or 2210, whatever the stupid dual channel JCM 900 800 thing was. But check this thing out just briefly. What a fucking nightmare of a design. I'm pretty close to just saying, nah, throw it in the bin, buddy. Throw it in the bin. So, not only has it got the dumbest output stage, no safety measurements, no safety measures whatsoever. Like the simplest bias spreader known to man. No temperature compensation or anything. It's just like if a high schooler designed a power amp with the bare essentials to actually give signal on the speaker output. It's got this weird dual heat sink. Well, it's got like the heat sink's one big piece, big U shape, and then it's got another bit across the top which does fuck all. But they've thrown some fins on there anyway. But there's no real heat transfer from that to that. Like, you'll feel it while it's operating because they have put fuck all heat transfer compound. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, it's going to do a lot, isn't it? Pretty much a little snail trail there, but that's about it. We got carbon, for some fucking reason, I got carbon composition. I always get the two mixed up with FETs. Sink, drain, sink. No. Oh, God, mental blank. The ones on the bottom, anyway. Like the emitter resistors, you know? Source resistors. Sink. Fucking dickhead. They're supposed to balance the load amongst the FETs. However, with FETs, you kind of don't need them because the FETs have a positive temperature coefficient, so they automatically limit themselves. As if one starts hogging, it'll get hotter than the others. Its resistance increases, whereas that's the other way around with bipolar transistors. They go lower in resistance, and then it's a runaway chain reaction. And then you blow a tranny. You shouldn't say that. Blow a transistor. But the problem with carbon comp resistors is they drift heavily. So now you've created your own, like you've done the exact opposite of what you were aiming to do by putting them there in the first place, because they drift unevenly, and now you do have current hogging. So anyway, you could probably bypass them completely, but I will replace them with some wire wounds, just so it's like the original circuit. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, look at the construction of the thing. Like, the two chips I've got to change are down inside here. There's one there and there's one down inside there. Now I need more exposure. But look at all the fucking shit I'm going to have to detach just to get to that, because nothing's got enough slack to come up. Everything's like... And it's all hidden behind other shit. There's stuff glued to the front panel, like siliconed. There's stuff that you sort of can't... That you got to desolder, like, because they've soldered directly to the back of that foot switch thing. XLR, you know, multi-pin connector. And there's not enough slack on those leads to be able to lift that shit up, so all of that's got to come out, and you can't desolder it without a bent. Like, they just make them impossible to, like, really hard to assemble for themselves. Like, regardless of whether they give a shit about the repairman, and obviously they don't. But they just make it hard on themselves to assemble a fucking thing. And they've run out of room on the circuit board, so they fly other little circuit boards up in the air to fit more components on. So you got added little daughter boards, and then you've got connector issues between them. Anyway, it's a whinging stream. Down here you can see the speaker at some point is shorted out on the heatsink. So they've got a bit of ribbon cable probably from an LCD out of a laptop or something. And they've siliconed that as the insulator, because that's the speaker jack. And down here you've got a relay that's it's been melted by the previous tech. You got transistors with the pins so close that they're almost touching each other, and the previous tech's done what they could to help that happen by putting big blobs of solder everywhere. Yeah. You got a 110 volt fan down there, which has got a big block dropping resistor, which is at mains potential, and it's swinging around, able to touch things because it's on an end mounted tag strip, which is flopping around in the breeze. So yeah, that'll be fun. Put that over there. Get this thing off the bench for a bit. I've got to order those chips, but I didn't order the other day. I've had this amp since last year. I really should have got on it quicker, but I know it's going to be like a day or two's work, so I need to get some other jobs out of the way before I have that one, because if you have a bunch of jobs in the queue and you're working on some massive job, well, you've got like 10 people ringing you every day going, "Where's my amp? Where's my amp? Where's my amp? Where's my amp?" I'd rather get them off my fucking back and just have one person whinging at me and going, where's my amp? Got my matcher. What are we talking about? Who's getting beaten up? Alright, so this is a much simpler amp. This little bugger. So it's probably just a matter of a service and just clean and service, you know? We're due for a recap, but not in the budget. So I might pop this board up. It's not too hard to remove it just to check solder connections underneath, because it feels like something is a bit mechanically sensitive there. Aren't we all? Hey, Yamaha G100B 212. It's like their solid state take on a twin over there. So it's like Japanese amp day. Gave them an option for a recap, but again, probably out of budget, so we can do everything but a recap if they want, but won't be covering the caps if they fail in the future. Ooh, pot's very loose. Good thing about Japanese stuff is, you know, everything's metric. I had a solid state Yami, it was horrid. Look, that thing sounds great, clean. The distortion on it is an absolute joke, as it is on all the Roland stuff as well. They just couldn't figure out distortion, man. Dave, how you going, legend? Hey, it's all going with the floods and shit over there in the States. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Well, that's silly. That's why it was playing up. The pot's fucking broken in half. Because what they've done is they've mounted them on the board and then just bent them back to fit the angled front panel. And that's, yeah, that's stressed them all in the presence pot. That's funny, actually. It looks like it was almost like that from the factory, because check it out. The others are tilting back, but the presence one's standing upright. Probably a bit hard to make out, but that's standing pretty much perpendicular to the board, and the others have folded back a little bit with their leads bent. Oh, that's cool. Got oversized nuts as spacers for the front to get it past the key thing, keyway, whatever you want to call it. So new pot, because that's the remainder of it. No wonder it wasn't working. The presence knob. So what is that? 50K C. Shit, is C reverse taper? I think C is reverse taper, so that could be tricky. Like reverse audio, like anti-log. What was it? 50k. I might have some of them from Tater, however. 16mm, probably a different shaft, so the knob won't fit. You can stock 50 billion pots and you still never have the one you need. Worst comes to worst, we can go linear. Just deal with the taper being different. B taper. A. B. You know what? One of them might work. Although that D shaft looks non-standard. I don't think the knob's not gonna fit. No. Maybe it will if I remove that insert. And go with the linear. Oh, the fucking exposure on this thing's a pain in the ass. When you zoom in, the aperture goes smaller. So when you zoom out, you're overexposed. But then you zoom in and it's exposed correctly. I need to bring in my other Penny Boy put up there. I was going to sell it, but I've only get like $1,000 for it. Might as well put it up there with a decent lens. The GH5S. Can I get that out? And then once I do that, will it fit? Reversed audio C taper. Yeah, but if we don't have a C taper, we're just going to have to settle for a linear. It'll work more like a switch than a pot, but it will still work. No, the D is deeper on that one, so we'd have to cut that off and file it. Yay! Otherwise, will it fit? Looks like it will. Anyway, enough talking shit, let's do it. $20mm. This is the shit you gotta do to keep stuff on the road, champions. Give the tip of the shaft a file. Give it a touch up. Touch up the tip of the shaft. Take a little bit off the D. Take a... Too many euphemisms, champions. Don't know where to begin. Give it a bevel. Give it a Breville. Get in the toaster. All right, how'd we go? Boom. Oh, did I get it on there too tight? I didn't press it that hard. No, there it goes. All right, sweet. Get rid of the pots. Fire up the soldering station. Yep, switched on. We'll clean the other ones while we're there and just check them for any fractures in the wafers. Any cracked solder joints. Check the heat generating parts aren't melting their solder connections. No. Fender Japan at least knew that you got to lift the heat generating components off the board a bit, whereas Fender USA still hasn't quite figured that one out. Right, so that's the one for the presents. Put that over there. Instead of using this setup with the spare nut behind it as a spacer, I think I'll use a couple of 8mm lock washers stacked on. I was using my Simpson meter the other day. It was really good for testing batteries, because the current draw from the Flukes when you're testing a, say, a 9-volt battery is so minuscule that the battery can have massive internal resistance. And the meter will still read like 9.5 volts if you use a Fluke, whereas the resistance, like the load presented, the input impedance, I guess, of the Simpson puts a little bit of load on the battery. So I had a guitar pickup from a electroacoustic amp, acoustic amp with a Fishman or whatever pickup, and it was intermittent. It wasn't working. Well, not intermittent, it just wasn't working, but everything, all signs were pointing to yes. But then as soon as you took the battery out and tested it, it tested fine. You put the battery back in and she died. So I thought I had a short. Turns out the battery just had, I've never seen a battery sitting that close to fully charged, but having that high an internal resistance that it was just losing its breath when you gave it any load at all. So the Fluke was saying everything's okay. But you measured it with the Simpson and it was showing like 0.5 of a volt. So I'm going to keep using it for that purpose. That's good. I just sat down with my dinner to watch this Mesa Boogie Lover. 2mm. What are these at? 2mm. So 2 of these per pot will do the job. They're ones I ordered by accident when I tried to get 3/8 ones. Ended up with 8mm, which are not really good for much at all. That's why I've still got a full box. Let's give the front panel a bit of a clean. There's my rag. That one. So that's Silver Face Fiberlux Reverb from the last live stream. He hasn't got the funds to go ahead with the restoration on that, so he's coming to pick that up today. He'll get it done at a later date, but that's a shame because I was looking forward to doing that one. Funny, all the Fiberluxes I've gotten recently have had modifications done to them to try and increase the headroom. The whole point of a Fiberlux Reverb is not headroom. Like, they should have got a I don't know, anything but that. They got lower plate voltage. And smaller transformers. I had one come in last week. Bias measured 11.3 watts. I was really surprised. What are we talking? Oh, he's at the new The new Blues Juniors. Offer Afterpay. No. They take like 30% or 10% or something. They can get fucked. Working for free if you have Afterpay. We've got ZipPay who are down around 3%, but still. I don't like the idea of those systems anyway, because they're just made to fuck over people that don't have their financial situation in check. It's one thing to say, yeah, it's their problem, not mine, but it's a little bit, I don't know, just doesn't seem ethical, you know? Selling people shit they can't fucking afford, and then penalising them later when they can't afford it. It's like rewarding bad financial decisions, and it's not good. Might sort of tilt it back before we solder it so there's no real stress on anything. There's enough play in those PCB holes to do it, so we'll do that. So we don't have like a credit score system in Australia. Like you can't, in the States you pretty much have to use a credit card for everything to get your credit score up, right? Which is fucked up. Like that's fucked. In Australia, you start at 0 and you can go negative, but you don't go up. In America, you start at 0 and you've got to prove yourself. You know, you've got to go up in credit score. But over here, you only get a bad score if you've done something shit. So yeah, there's no real need to use a credit card over here. A lot of people just use a debit card. And you can do rewards and stuff, but I don't do that shit. I'd rather have no debt ever if I can avoid it. Buy now, pay later. Counting. Craig makes a gorilla sound like Winterland. I don't know what you're talking about. I offer bartering instead of Afterpay. I offer bartending. I think I've got a customer 2 mins. Just a little bit light on the solder connections on the rear panel. Doing hazard reduction here, so it's really smoky outside. Got the door shut and the air conditioning on. Not great timing when I've got a cold or whatever to have tons of smoke in the atmosphere. Yeah, I got sick because I went to gigs for the last 2 weekends. It always happens. You go to gigs, you get sick. Went to the factory theatre, as you saw on that Ace Radio Sonata video. It's the only place I actually caught COVID. I caught something else. It's not COVID, but that solder looks a bit manky. I'll just clean that joint up. Gangs of London. I think I've seen an episode or two of that, but didn't follow it through. Who's the big actors on that? Just to hold the pots in place, I'll do the 2 outer terminals first. Just the solder looks like it's maybe been exposed to cleaning chemicals in the pots at some point. It looks a bit milky, so I'm just reapplying the solder on the front end, just to make sure it's sticking properly. I'll do the 2 outer terminals. And then I'll do the 2 inners, the 1 inner, sorry, the wiper. Maybe I'll put it on auto. It's probably going to do all sorts of weird shit, but it's easier than adjusting it all the time. With video, it's real important to have a constant aperture lens, so one that's at the same aperture no matter what zoom setting you're on, that doesn't change. Man, it's really smoky out there now. Normally it's cleared off a bit by now, but it's hanging around. I've got a spare USB port? Probably not. Just pull it for a sec. No, I'm not actually moving the shop to consumer. We were just walking past and I saw that funny shop front. I think it's part of another tenancy, but it's like a display window, but it's got like 50 power points in it. And I just thought it was funny, so I did a little clip. Fuck, moving to Katoomba, Jesus. There's more vacant shops up there than anywhere else. No one's got any money up there. It is very arty though. I should spend more time up there. I would love to live there, but I don't know how I'd make a living. Sorry, just looking for a file. Sort by modified. View. Extra large icons. So with anything wave soldered, you occasionally get one that's got a terminal that's just got a little bit too little solder on it. Like it's barely a film that's attaching the lead to the pad. You just need to go through and identify them and just give them a touch more solder. Might even be fine at the moment, but it just there's one less reason to have to pull a board later if something's crackling. So I've allowed like 1 hour for this thing, and he was happy with that. So if we can get it out of it for an hour, that'd be good. Just replay the power resistors. It's actually interesting. There's kinks in the lead on the 5 watters, but they're not bottomed out against the kinks. I'll do that. It's kind of pointless Although maybe I don't want to because I think that they might be corroded and the solder might not stick to it. Let's have a look. Alright, it's against the kink now and the solder is still sticking to it, so that's good. Alright, I think we're good, legends. We'll clean those pots. I'll check this board while I'm at it. A little reverb board. It's looking alright, but I'll give him a reflow anyway. Downsizing on repairs, only one a day. Yeah. Well, it feels like that's about what I've been getting out the door these days. Everything's got some complication that's made it annoying. Yeah, you're getting sent amps that aren't worth repairing, Alex. Happens a lot. People just don't, I don't know, they just don't think, I don't know if they think we're going to do it for free, but you charge them like, you quote it like verbal them like $50 to change a jack or something like, what? So well, fucking what do you want from me? Do you want me to fucking wash your car for free while I'm at it? Fuck off. Don't you have any fucking bills to pay? Probably one of these people that inherited everything in their life and they'd never had to pay for anything. They're just... I had one woman, she was like begging me to do it for free. I'm like, no. Oh, I'll tell everyone, I'll give you the good word. It's like, oh, so all your cheap ass friends can come here and want free shit too. No thanks. Off you go. Word of mouth's not a good thing if they're all fucking non-payers. Let me just get a clamp or something to hold this chassis upright so I can give these pots a bit of a squeak. The rule in sales, if you can have it cheap, quick or good, but not all three, yeah, choose two. Cheap and quick, not good. Quick and good, but not cheap. Good and cheap, but not quick. That's right. So I've got a couple of good and cheap, but not quick jobs in the queue, and I just told them I'll just get around to them when I get around to them. If you ring me and ask for me once, well, that's the last time you can come pick it up. Otherwise, you can get it for about probably a third of what I should charge for it, but I'll do it at my leisure, and I'll do video content from it. That's the only reason I'll take something like that on, because it's an interesting repair that would be fun to do a video on. For free just didn't work out. Yeah, it tends not to. The old EML. I wonder if I should reinstall them. I sort of can't get to them because they're on an angle. It's an angle to the dangle. Does anybody know if the adjustable temperature soldering iron sold by StewMac is any good? Don't think so. Stick with a known brand. Just go with Hakko, man. Don't even bother with a no name. Just Hakkos are so cheap, even the genuine ones. Don't get them off Amazon or eBay. Get them from a local bricks and mortar distributor or a reseller. Just get a Hakko. No, nothing even competes for that price. Hakko FX-888D. Or if you can spring for it, an FX-951. But I'm assuming if you're looking at StewMac, you'd probably only do an occasional job. So the FX-888D will work perfectly for you. It comes with 3 tips, I think. 2 or 3 tips. Brad, know anyone in Australia who can make custom wound power transformer? I've got a Fender Supersonic Twin 100 watt Fender Australia, no stock. Schumacher USA says no stock. Fender Supersonic Twin. So has that got low voltage windings too? Because you might find there might be another model that will work for that. From Hammond. Because the one-off transformer's not going to be cheap. There is a company called Dine Transformers in Victoria, Bayswater, I believe. I want to try them out. I met them at Tektronix when I was hanging out with Rod Elliott. Met Dave Jones. Hi, I'm Dave Jones. I'm at Tektronix. Alex could maybe rewind it for you, but I don't know. I don't want to volunteer him for that. But has it got no transformer, or the transformer's blown? According to the Hakko website, the 888D is being discontinued. Oh, I'll just get whatever's replacing it. It'll probably be better anyway. Dark monitor, dead backlight. I read that because my eyes are blurry, because they're watery. I read that as hold flashlight up to the screen. Backlights can be easy fixes. Yeah, it might be an inverter if it's it'd be LED, wouldn't it? Surely. Not. Oh, hang on. 10 years old. It might be inverter. Cold cathode. No transformer at all, only the chassis. Alright, so you need a whole new transformer. So Alex is out then because he won't be able to rewind a transformer that doesn't exist. Or where's they're probably just moving on to the next iteration of it. Got to grow and expand, you know, like 290 D2EX working that. It might have the Supersonic. I'm trying to remember it. Supersonic Twin. I think that's got solid state windings that aren't derived from high voltage. Like it's got low voltage windings, Alex. I'd have to look at the schematic. New model is the FX-888DXL. There you go. Or E. FX-888E. The FX100 looks really good. But I convinced myself I'm not going to spend any more money for a while. Sick of spending money, champions. Cost me fucking $100 just to get like one switch from Germany posted. So it's like $160 for like 3 items. And they were like $10 items. Fucking over it. We keep getting bent over and on the shipping. It's only going to get worse, of course. Because if you're not a billionaire, what the fuck are you even breathing oxygen for? That's what they think. It's making 16 pounds of pork. Fucking hell. Go on up and get you a Sammy. A Samage. We call it sangers here. Having a sanger. In the UK, they call them a sarnie. Alright, so those washers will offer a little bit of tension, like a little bit of pressure that'll keep the nut tight. Yeah, you probably do have no money, Mark, if you're doing 16 pounds of pork. A lot of pork. I did a, the char siu. I don't know how you say it. Char siu. And, got distracted and fucking burnt it the other week. So I often cook that to slice it up and use it in ramen or fried rice. I think I mentioned last stream, but I didn't have any molasses. However, when we were in Kitsuma, we went to a deli up there and they had molasses, so I bought some. So I'm going to try again and hopefully not fuck it up this time. I didn't clean the Reverb one, did I? Give that a clean. I might replace that jack because she's looking pretty corroded. A bit manky. Let's put a Switchcraft on there. Oh, burn ends, yeah. There were pork fillets, like back straps. Char siu. No, it's pronounced. What? Why is it logged me out of Google? Fuck. It's spelt char siu. How do you feel about Vegemite? Yeah, I eat Vegemite. Kind of prefer Promite. Got a bit of a tang to it. It's nice. A bit more aromatic too. But yeah, I eat Vegemite. Not all Aussies do. Some bit of a stereotype that everyone here has it. Hey, Bacon Manager. Right when we're talking about pork, that's probably what convinced him to join the highest tier, the Dram of Single Malt Club. I'd have one of them right now if it wasn't working, because I feel like one. Char siu. Char siu. Yeah, something like that. Sounds good. Let's hope this thing does too. So I finished off. Remember, I was building that deluxe reverb over the holiday break. I sort of put it on hold. I had some issues with the reverb transformer and stuff, but I fixed all that up and had some crosstalk happening from two leads in there, which was causing some oscillation. So I fixed that oscillation and just bleed from one channel to the other. Well, yeah. It was basically the bleed was coming, like getting its way around the volume control, which wasn't great because I had two leads that were capacitively coupling to each other. The only thing left on that one, besides the JJ's double micro valves that weren't worth pissing on because they were the most microphonic valves I've ever fucking used, and they're literally designed to not do the thing that they did worse than everyone. So I ditched them and put some electro harmonics in there. So we're back to electro harmonics for the 6v6s at the moment because no one else can fucking make one worth pissing on. My favourite is what tan haw. I don't know if you just made me say a slur or not, Alex. Don't fuck with me today. I'm not switched on. Did you end up trying Booker's bourbon? No, I'm not buying anything American at the moment. You can all get fucked. I'm not a massive bourbon fan, to be honest. Just like the best bourbons are just like a shit scotch. So I've gone for scotch these days. Double microphonic, yeah, maybe that's what it stands for. Double microphonic. All right. I have had Bookers though before. I'm just being what's the word? Antagonistic for comedy purposes. I've had Bookers. Knob Creek was a good one. I generally just go for the Basil Haydens though, if I'm going for a bourbon. Sort of no bullshit, cheap-ish, and reasonably good. Not terrible. Not great, not terrible. It's one of those lines that survived from the Chernobyl series. Become a meme. So you know you made it these days. One of your lines in your movies become a meme. Just clean my knobs 1 second, champions. Yeah, so back to the Deluxe Reverb. That was the one I put in the Tone Master cabinet. I took it home, and it's going to be my play-at-home rig with a little tube screamer from Maxon in the front end. Heaven, mate. That's all you need. Obviously not doing chugs with that one, but it's a nice blues and rock sound. For chug territory, I've got the Cranky Karen. That takes me to chug land. And then some. Good old chug land. Toothbrush. Just a bit of hygiene. Cleaning my knob with my toothbrush. Good ABC jazz in the background to try and relax. Should listen to some Mogwai today. I like Mogwai when I'm relaxing and trying to concentrate. Relaxing and trying to concentrate aren't the two mutually exclusive? So I'm going to finish off Scotty Kingman's Princeton Reverb cabinet this weekend and post it off to him next week. He built a Princeton Reverb using the layout that I use for mine. I sent him the layout in DIYLC, and he laid it out and drilled it himself. And as far as I know, the results were good. But he's just using it on his bench at the moment through a cab, so I thought I'll make him a nice cab for it. He got to choose the colours. Just went with the traditional sort of Fender black and gold grill cloth. So I had to order a bit of that because I use the cream stuff. Mine's sort of a blonde look. But yeah, like Princeton Reverb. Again, with the overdrive pedal in front of it, that's all you need. It's great. Kind of wanted to make a few to hire them out. A few different varieties of amps. So if I've got someone really on my case to get their amp finished, I can say, oh well, here you go, weekend rate. You can rent this one for $100. That gets you out of trouble. And if they're really serious about this gig, they'll go, okay, righto, and they'll hire the amp. And that'll get them off my back, so I can order the parts required, which may be coming from overseas. Because in Australia, you have to wait for everything, and in Planet Amazon, no one accepts that anymore. But they have to, because there's no fucking alternative. So I thought if we've got a couple of different versions of amps here that I know are going to be bulletproof. So when I'm between doing test runs on the FYM 2000 boards, I'll hire out the DSL and TSL, because I know with my board they're fucking bulletproof. And you've got flyback diodes in there and stuff to protect them from stupidity. So that's a lot of better, like greater peace of mind than the stock setup. So we've got two high gain Marshall heads to rent out. We've got a Princeton Reverb and a Deluxe Reverb clone essentially, but done on turret board, so a bit more durable. Got a not Blues Junior, fuck, what was I trying to say? Hot Rod Deluxe as well. Hot Rod or Blues? I forget which one. But I restored one of them a while back that I gave my mate. My mate was going to fix it up and sell it. I gave him like $300 for it as it was. And he was happy with that because it was going to cost more than that to get it roadworthy. So that covers most of the bases. Suppose I could rent out my GK Galleon Kruger 400 RB as well, but it's not a very high power amp. But with the RB series, the original RB series, kind of can't kill them, so it would make a good higher amp as well. It'll cop the abuse without complaining. Yeah, Vegemite, a lot of people try and spread it on like it's Nutella. That's not how you use it. You have a light spreading. It's like, trying to think of something similar. You put some butter on there first, preferred actual butter, and a scraping on top so you can still see the butter through it. That's our new one. Alright, so the angles work out. Pot fits. Might just clear the bench and we'll put the cabinet. Did I tighten them? I did, didn't I? When I'm talking, sometimes I forget what I haven't done. Vegemite belongs in the bin. Where are you from, Daniel? I don't know what... It's just savoury, salty goodness. I don't know what the issue is. It's like jerky, you know? Just salty, savoury stuff. Have you guys heard of Bonox? If you don't like Vegemite, you fucking hate that. Bonox is basically like a beef stock, but it's meant to be like drunk, like a soup. So you put a spoonful of it in boiling water and drink it down, champions. It's just like a beef soup, really, you know. I gotta order some more 3/8 washers. I must have one or two left, surely. Bought 1,000 of them. Washers. Right down the bottom, of course you fucking are. Got a few left, but I'll pop over to the Pan Bolt Master on the weekend and grab another box of 1,000 or whatever. You go through them. Every pot, every jack. See, Lyle. Need a margarita. Fuck yeah. Good lad. It's only Thursday over there too. I really just spiritually thought it was oh no, I need a shorting plug. Thought it was Thursday today. Silly duffer. Where's my shunt plugs, sockets? You know what blows my mind? Like every single person on the face of the planet, there's input jack when they mean output jack on their guitar. Fuck, I've got to order more of them too. Switchcraft 12B. Maybe that'll fill out my mouse order to order those chips for the shitbox Mesa. That's what I'll do. Povrel, yeah, that's like another brand's answer to it, I think. Same shit, different, probably same smell. I'll just shorten those leads. Excuse the sniffling and stuff. Either I stop every 5 seconds and blow my nose or battle on. I need to get this thing off the bench and back to the customer. Flip, yeah, flip the toast so the coated side hits the tongue. I do that with biscuits, like Sayo or saladas when you put, because sometimes we have either cheese and Vegemite or just butter and Vegemite on like crackers, I guess you'd call them. That's my bus wire. Customer. Sorry, champions. Customer just rocked up, pick up that declined Vibrolux. I think I remember in the shop fitting industry, we used to say that like 30% of your quotes should get declined. Otherwise, you're not charging enough. And I haven't been getting a lot declined these days, so maybe I should charge more. Just turn that down a little bit so I don't get copyright strike by Magewell. If you guys like Magewell, I can't remember who said it in the chat, but there's a local band, customers of mine, that you'd very much like. They just released a new album. Might have given them a plug recently in the past. Lion Circle, $20. Thanks, mate. Gutting and building up several parts casters at the same time. And I keep asking myself, what would Brad do when considering upgrades? Yeah, well, it's one of those things. If it's for yourself, man, like, it's kind of a little bit therapeutic to make something really nice, you know. I tend to find myself cutting corners a bit on my own stuff and trying to save money and thinking, it's good enough for me. But recently I've been thinking differently. I've been thinking, no, fuck it. Why shouldn't I have something nice, you know? I should spoil myself a little bit. So like I'll put some nicer pots and some nicer, like maybe a treble bleed in there. Good, nice CRL switch, something like that. Instead of trying to cut corners. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a pretty average guitarist, but it's enjoyable, you know? It's like you see these blokes with the classic cars. It's not like they're bloody Formula 1 drivers, but they just like nice things. So anyway, where was I? So yeah, the band that's a bit like Mogwai. Keep telling me I should charge more. There's a sort of level though where you lose the musicians and you just end up with the hobbyists. So and it means a lot to me to keep the actual working musicians' gear in top condition. Yeah, it does mean a lot. So if I price the actual musicians out of the market, then I'm just left with the hobbyists who can barely play. Yeah, I don't really want to be in that game. So check this out, Soul Kiri. That's their Bandcamp and their new album Cranebrook, and it's really good. They've actually gone above and beyond on that one. They've done some stuff they haven't done before, and I like to see artists pushing the envelope a bit. Don't want to hear the same album 50 fucking times released. If you want that, you go listen to AC/DC, eh? It's art, champions. It's supposed to change and shift with your times and who you are as a person. One band I think I might have mentioned last time, I've been getting right into LCD sound system. I sort of missed the boat when they were making moves back in the day. Now they're old bastards, and I'm only just getting into them now. I'm losing my edge. Because that Daft Punk is playing at my house song was massive here for a while. Was that like early, mid-2000s? Just after I got out of high school. Listening to Triple J all the time. Triple J was the shit back then. They were so good. And then all of a sudden, literally, it was like someone flicked the switch and they just immediately sucked. Nothing but mumble rap, horse shit. I don't get the mumble rap, man. LSD sound system. Yeah, I reckon some of their gigs would have been that. Oh, I've got to drill a hole out. It's only meant for a 8mm, not a 9.5. Three-eighths. There we are. Just got my step drill. what makes this amp worthy of repair? Well, Alan, the fact that I quoted an hour's work and the customer said yes, and that's literally it. Nothing else matters, legend. The thing is, Dave, I think it still is under Richard Kingsmill though, but he's just decided that he wants to pretend that he's young, but he doesn't know anything about fucking music. So you're getting a little bit of good stuff on there, but it's nothing like it was, man. It was like the bastion of fucking what was happening. Alrighty. Take a few quick measurements. I'll just put that through the driver under the bench so you can hear it through the mic. Is that gonna fit? No. Ugh. Okay, I'll be changing them out. It's all right. We have the technology champions. I'll just shove it. Sometimes what you can do just for testing, we've got these little female leads here with all different connectors for this kind of purpose. Is that got a speaker output? On recording? No. Put that one. I'll just shove them under the boot. Just to quickly do some testing. It's not a use case scenario, champions. It's just test. Plug that into my underbench thingy. Get rid of the solder. Always have a fear that my roll of solder is going to short something out on the bench if I don't put it out of the way. All right, we're up and running. Let's check that oscillation's gone away. It should have. The new jack. Yep, and it has. Somehow a lot quieter too. Already. I'll just turn down my thingy and put up the thingy. Oh, hang on, I've unplugged the oh, I was going to show you something. Alright, before we do that, I'll just show you that gig I went to last week, alright? Just one sec. Gonna work? Or is it taking every ounce of my processor? Desktop audio enabled. Yep, alright, sweet. We'll bring that down 3 dB. Have a quick watch of this. All right, so that was Claude Hay and the Kung Fu Mustard. So he makes his own guitars. So that was one of the ones he built. I'm not sure if he built the amp or not. But that was Ryan playing bass. He's a good customer of mine, and that's the bass amp I recently repaired. The power amp and the David Eden preamp. And here's the headliner band, Chase the Sun. Just bear with me while the thing loads off my phone. Hurry up, you piece of shit. Come on. It's got to download the fucking file into the temporary folder so it can play back. Maybe it just won't. Spelled sun. Yeah, chase the S-U-N. Like surfing. Nope, not working. Come on. Shit computer. Ugh. A little bit down the bottom of the matcher. No, not working. I'll have to cut. Oh, my phone's become non-responsive. Oh, fucking hell. Not responding. And Explorer just crashed. And now my taskbar's gone away. Holy fuck. What a pain in the ass that was. Need a new computer. No, new computers won't fix it. It's the phone USB protocol. It's the problem. And the fact I'm streaming off a laptop while I'm trying to do things. Anyway, fuck that. Too hard. Not working. I'll just plug Mo2 back in. If I can find the fucking USB port. There. I don't know about you, but I think that sounds alright. It sounds pretty bloody good for what it is. It's got a nice overdrive. They've done it with diodes. Can't see any pairs of anti-parallel diodes, but I'm not sure how they did it, but it sounds good. There's actually only 2 op amps in there. Everything else is discrete. Not a bad sounding little amp, so there you go. Put that one back in the box. Oh, I'll take a few quick measurements. Just get my notepad. Presence, like pot taper is actually really good. It's probably better than the stock one. It's really intuitive and feels very linear. So, win-win-win, champions. Fiddly-dee, fiddly-doo. Greg, how you going, legend? Hey, Brad, newbie to your channel. Love your work, mate. Greetings from Adelaide. Fucking love Adelaide. I've got to get back there. Hang out. I used to hang out in Twang Central on what is it? Off Hindley Street. You know the Powderfinger song, "A Hindley Street Parade." Yeah, the breakup wasn't too bad, eh, Alex? I thought it was alright. Alright, what's the date today? 11th. Fucking hell, it's the 11th of April already. It still does my head in to write 2025. Fucking. That's all I have to say about that. Alright. Main rail. Oh, helps if you turn the multimeter on. -30. +30. -30.5 +30.5. Drawing 8. Say 9 watts from the wall. Just check the ripple on the rails. Tell us how good the caps are. 60 millivolts. And 50 millivolts. Less than or equal to 60 millivolts ripple. Preamp rails. Probably 15, I guess, volts. 15.3. 15.4. Now, we'll just do a quick output test. Turn on the EQ about halfway. Reverb down. Master all the way up. Volume all the way down. Speed at about 300 millivolts at 1K. Sine wave. Hitting the rails hard at 13. Just tickling the rails at 13.5 volts RMS. Into 8 ohms. 21 watts. 21 watt RMS. 1 kilohertz. 8 ohms. Good enough for the girls I go out with, as AVE would say. And at P max it's drawing 59 watts. Just check what the output bias is, or the voltage drop across the emitter resistors anyway. They're 0.5 ohm. 27 millivolts. 19 millivolts. Let's give it a signal. See if we can dial that back a bit, because that's no, it's drawing fuck all. Who cares? Good enough. It does have a bias adjustment. We could set that to about 100. Set it to about 1 volt output. Just for shits and giggles. We'll see if we can dial in and out the crossover distortion. There it is, kicking in hard. You can't see it, but I can. Just zoom in a bit more. We can dial that out. Where does that sit now? We're drawing only about 6 watts now. So we've dialed down the bias a little bit on the output stage. We're only dropping 8 millivolts across the emitter resistors. So a bit of imbalance there. Now, well, sounds alright. Morning, Mum. Is it still morning? 10:30, yep. Got these tiny little tags. No wonder they were, I think this speaker's been replaced because Plessey's, I believe in UK or Aussie brand. Alright, because they're weird terminals, I'm just going to solder them because nothing's really going to clip to that reliably. Well, it does have a sheet of alloy or something on the top. Not much point in having alloy shielding if you paint it black, but anyway. Cheers, mate. It'd be great to share your beer at the shitty cranker. What's that, a pub? One day when you're down this way, gotta say some of your amp techs here need to pay attention to your thoroughness. Who do we know in Adelaide? Radelaide. Someone down there, I forget who. Coopers of Adelaide is the bee's bollocks. Is that a good thing? So what I'll do is I'll just reconnect myself, see if we can have a look at the headliner now. Morning, Paul. How you going, legend? Just tin those connectors a bit on the speakers. They look a little bit tarnished. Just see if my solder with that aggressive flux can eat through it. Yeah, that's sticking alright. Sweet as. Sweet as, mate. Just sweet as. One thing I always forget about is the hot air station I got has a magnet in the stand, so it knows to shut it down when you put it back in. So when you're working in a speaker cabinet, the magnet turns the thing off. And it gets me every time. I always forget. Copy, paste. See if that works. Alright, I think it worked, champion. So check this out. I'll just mute it for a sec until I get my shit sorted. So what do you think of that? Let's Chase the Sun. And that singer is Jan. Jahn. Bloody legend, mate. They could have been massive if they could pin yarn down for more than a weekend. He floats into town, from what I gather. He floats into town and does a bunch of gigs, and then off he goes again. No one hears from him for a couple of months, and off surfing and doing whatever he does. It's just you can't tie him down to any one place, so they frantically book gigs every time he comes to town. What amp was he using? A Egnator tweaker. I was talking to him about it. He mentioned to me that one of the, you know how that's got the 4 output valves, 2 EL84s and 2 6V6s. I forget which one he said, but one or the other isn't working. Yeah, so he's just turned it over to the other one. I said, bring it around, man. I'll sort it out for you. He's like, oh, yeah, probably won't have time. So off he goes. He had a Vibrolux years ago. I'm talking back before I had the shop. And he brought it around to my house and had the heater. It was a reissue. Had the heater issue with the heater quick connects burning like they do. I said, yeah, I can make it make noise again, but there's probably some other stuff you want to get done to it, like the caps are starting to leak and stuff. And I said, look, we could just get it working, sort of making noise, or we can make it reliable. What do you want? And he said, just make it make noise again. I said, all right, no worries. So I did that. All right. He's probably got a blown valve on one of the sides that's taken out. That side's, I think from memory, it's got different HT fuses per side. Oh, I'm still on OBS. I'll switch back to that. There we go. Jeez, you can't. Metal Mouth, what's going on? Do I know you, Metal Mouth? Usually only dropping C-bombs to people you know. Mum's online, she's heard worse, don't worry. Alright, just give the rear jacks a quick clean and then she's on her way. Got an effects loop. Hitting the big time. I always like to retest things when they're back in the cabinet, just to make sure nothing's become dislodged. Every time you assume something's right, you put it away and then the customer turns up to pick it up and you're in embarrassment town because it doesn't work. Something sounds weird. I just muted you there because I knew it would clip the mic. It's a horrible sound. Alright, one out of the way. Let's put the rear panel back on before I forget. G'day James, how you going? Greenlee, named after the world's most expensive steel punch. Very good though. Dave's podcast. Okay, so Metal Mouth. Do I know who you are though? Like, what's the pseudonym? Well, I know the pseudonym. What's the name behind the pseudonym? Oh, sorry everyone, just for those who have come in recently, I've got a real bad, not real bad, but I've got a cold. Hence the sniffling and the blowing the nose every 5 minutes. 5 minutes? 5 seconds. Off you go, little amp. Has anyone tried putting an active EQ tone stack on a Marshall? I'm sure they have. Carbon did. What's next? Get rid of the bench detritus. Piss the phone off. Get this Mesa out of the way. So I've done the main fix to this. The customer was sitting on the quote for just a general service. Pots are a bit scratchy and stuff, so we'll do that. We'll take some measurements, put it back in the box, get rid of that as well. Oh, man, I feel like going home. Thoughts on an early cube made in Japan Rollins. Had mine since 94. Yeah, they don't die. They don't sound particularly good either, though. If you're happy with the sound, then sweet. They weren't exactly, you know, cutting edge designs, but they do seem to keep going. Built like a lot of the old Japanese stuff, pretty well built. Alan, I don't know how far I got good sounds out of those things. Every time I tried it, it sounded awful. Wait a minute. X100Bs are awesome. I think they're really good. Fucking heavy though. Back when people had a spine, they could lift amps. These days everything's got to be light. Fucking go to the gym, mate. Well, they got Tone Master Princetons. If you can't lift up a normal Princeton, something wrong with you. Yeah, if you're using them for a pedal platform, they're good little, not full range, but still pretty nice little just pedal platforms. No one's going to steal it. So there's that. I should mention that before you go to clean your valve sockets, make sure the amp's discharged. Like, you are exposing yourself to the plate connections. I suppose I should disclaimer more stuff. I sort of assume you guys know, but that's not always the best assumption, I guess. You never know who's going to watch it. It's a public stream. BC, how you going, legend? What's happening? I'm just sniffling, snorting my way through a fucking live stream. Just check the valve sockets have no termination and no bent pins, that kind of thing. No, I haven't fixed that tube tester yet. I haven't even had time to test it and figure out what's going on with it. I did a quick examination and found a shorted MOSFET. We thought we had overcurrent protection, but something's gone wrong. Hey mate, how are you? What's happening? Champions! Got a special guest. Hey. Alright, testing. Yeah, you're good. So, introduce yourself to the champions.
Hey, champions. Tim is my name. I'm a studio owner up in Winmalee, Mid-Mountains. And I've just gone public. In fact, I'm here just to chat to Brad. There's the camera.
Yep.
Thanks, man. I was thinking that's not a computer.
No, it's a bit nicer.
HD is always better.
Yeah.
See my pimples. Yeah, I'm just here to chuck up a poster at Brad's place. And he's invited me to just jump in this. It's good to be put on the spot in the limelight.
There you go.
Anyway, if anyone needs a rehearsal space, recording space for really affordable rates, check out the Soup Room Studio. It's it's been in private for a while, and I'm going public with it now. That's all I have to say at this point. But yeah, souproomstudio.com for any kind of rehearsal recording.
Oh, hang on. They're saying there's no audio. Is this thing?
Through? Oh no.
Oh, hang on. Did it die?
Oh,
Right.
just when I gave it my best.
Hang on. I'll turn mine off and just
Right,
make sure
cool.
this one's working.
Sure.
Testing here. Yeah, you're definitely going now. Right, so we'll start again.
Cool. Take. This is just
Take
number
two.
2. We got to be honest. Once again, Tim is my name. I come from the Blue Mountains. I'm just here to drop off some posters at Brad's excellent establishment, and he's invited me to come onto your live stream. So, in the name of opportunity, I want to let all you guys know that I've got this recording rehearsal studio, office space for hire, whatever you need it for. It's a soundproof, acoustically treated room up in the mid-mountains in Winmalee. And yeah, if you know anyone who's interested in just, looking for a soundproof space to practice your screaming or your guitar solos or whatever, get your band together. We had 7 people in there last night, all crammed into this little space.
Wow.
So yeah, can handle 7 people.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise, a pleasant test for all involved.
Well, let's
and
get
that's
the
all
link. Let's get the link.
Yeah,
I'll put the link up.
please.
So what's
Thanks,
the webpage?
mate. Soup Room Studio. Yeah, should come up.
Here we go.
Bingo, beautiful.
I'll get that link and I'll put it up here, and you guys can. I'm doing promo streams. I'm promoting
man.
local bands. I'm doing everything.
He's a king. He knows.
So there you go, legends. And hold up the.
Sure, mate. Yeah, got the
We've got
QR
the
code if you
QR,
need.
yep.
Yeah.
Let's see if it'll focus. No, hang on. QR code. Engaged. There we go.
Amazing, mate. Oh, technology is good when it's on your side.
Sweet as.
That's brilliant, mate. I appreciate your time,
Yeah,
mate.
no dramas, no dramas. I'll
Okay.
come up and just scream in a studio just to get out all the aggression.
That's half the reason it's there, yeah. I'm sure there's a few cranky people around.
Yeah, you need to have one room that's set aside for, where they smash stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
just
one of the
distraction
anger
from my room.
management rooms. I'll bring up an old guitar that people can smash an amp with or something.
Yeah, I'll get some aspects.
Yeah,
Some
sounds good.
Cool, mate. Well,
Cool, man. No worries.
very much.
Leave us with the posters. I'll
Can do.
stick them up. I'll stick one in the window. If you want to leave us, you probably. How many have you got? Have you got heaps or?
I'll just leave the one for you.
Yeah,
Unless
sweet
you
as.
think there's-
I'll put it on the front window, on the front door there.
Okay.
Probably facing outwards
Does
so
that
they
one
see
have
it as
a
they're coming in.
QR? I just wanted-
Oh, no, it
it's on
doesn't,
the
no.
back, So I just want to give you one with the QR.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be funny.
Yep.
little-
Sweet as.
with the QR code.
Yeah, because I've got a few bands that rehearse in various tentative places, but maybe nothing solid. So,
Okay, well,
so that'd be
this-
good for that.
Yeah, this is here for as long as I can.
And that's got all your rates on the website and
All
that.
the rates, all the prior recordings, if people want to reference recordings.
Yeah, cool as.
Yeah, I've put a fair bit of time,
Yep.
blood, sweat, and swear words as they
Yeah.
into getting this thing going. And
No
yeah,
dramas,
it's
man.
finally up and running, and I really
Oh, and
appreciate it.
teaching space too. That's cool.
Yes,
yeah.
I should have said something about that.
Yeah. Have you got associations with any teachers up there or?
So
Stormer?
on board.
Stormer are
We're doing
using
a
it?
bit of a
Okay.
shared deal thing.
Yeah, cool.
If they reference students, they
Yeah,
get
I've got
discount.
their brochures up there as well. They're the ones I'll give you out. So,
Okay.
yeah, people ask me if I teach, but I've got nowhere near enough patience to be a teacher.
Full-booked fellow.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so it sucks a bit, but
Yeah, no, I couldn't be a teacher either.
Yeah.
I considered it, and I think for the right people, it'd be okay. But it's, yeah, it's a special type of human.
yeah, I don't have the patience for that.
You think everyone can read your mind, but they can't.
Yeah, that's right.
That's my problem, mate.
No worries, leave that with us. Then, nah, it's fine. I've got some. I'll just put the double-sided tape on it. But yeah, all good. Sweet as.
Thanks, that's really exciting. I
No,
appreciate
no
it.
dramas. Take it easy. Thanks for dropping by.
No worries.
There we go. Did you check out that website, champions? Oh, you already put it up. Thank you, Alex. You're a good little admin, aren't you? Good little mod. Where was I? Just get my air compressor orb. I was thinking about doing some rehearsals out of here. Get my drum kit out and putting some new skins on it and setting her up. because I want to start playing again this year. I tell myself every fucking year that I want to, even if it's just a cover band, I just need to have goals and need to get out there and start playing again. Even if it's just a cover bands, are the only ones that get any fucking gigs these days. What's the boogie? It is a 550 Express. It's the one that I did the video on a while back. Fault finding it. Ooh, silicon jammed in there. What's that all about? Silicon on the valve pins too. Lucky we checked them. Let me check out the website, champions. I'm going to look. Hang on. Desk share. Supreme. Ooh, it's got some Helmholtz diffusers. Helmholtz. Got some KRKs there. It's got a very very cool vibe. Room within a room. Music teachers, that is a good idea. Run lessons out of your rehearsal studios when they're not being used for rehearsals. Set aside time. Need a quiet workspace. It'd be that. Need somewhere to scream about the world and the end of everything. Come to our studio. I think there will be a market for that in the future. Recordings. Ooh, he's got some samples. Man, I have to check that out. I don't know about copyright, so I might not play them right now, but rates, the all-important rates. 15 an hour, that's fucking nothing. Pay that for a single beer. Mixing. Oh, he's going to have to bring these rates up, I think. 40 bucks an hour? What? He's going to have to bring those rates up. I think you'll discover that soon, but I might have a talk to him about that. Live in the super room. He's got live stuff. Oh, CJ. He's another customer of mine. Cameron Henderson. Did he record up there? Oh, live recording. Sweet. Yeah, that's another good thing. Doing live streaming, live recordings up there. A little bit like the NPR stuff. That's pretty cool. We've got to get more cash into these bloody artists, man. Like CJ Stranger. He did an interview with a local council representative a while back talking about the stuff he's doing. Now, CJ runs basically a guitar group teaching / well, not really officially, but essentially a therapy thing locally at the local RSL club, Returned Soldiers League club. And it's all for vets, like ex-military vets, whatever. And they get together and he teaches them guitar, and they have goals, so they'll have like they'll have gigs, you know, once every 3 months, 6 months, something like that. And another one of my customers, Daniel, sort of organises the whole thing. He's a vet as well, and they all get together and learn guitar and go for a beer after, and it's really good. And this is going to be the stuff in coming years that we need to really stick together with. We need to hold everyone together using these kind of things to do such. But they need funding too. So, is that the fireys? Fire alarm? No. Ambo. Ooh, that's not good. Lights and sirens means cardiac arrest. So yeah, blokes like that are going to be what holds society together and when everything else is falling apart. So I've got to get out there and I'm gonna go to one of their gigs that they're putting on. I mean, you know, they're beginner guitarists, but it's more the vibes, champions. So I want to get out there and support them. Maybe give them sponsorships, maybe VIP cards, discount cards for Brad's Guitar Garage, something like that. Yeah, a room like that here in LA would be $1,500 a day minimum. Yeah, that'd be like the entry level to get your foot in the door. Fucking silicon on the pins. What's that all about? Is there components on the other side that Mesa loves to squirt silicon on everything? So yeah, CJ Stranger. Check his band out too if you have a minute. It's all on Bandcamp. So Bandcamp. You can give them as much money as you want for... Are you guys on Bandcamp? Like, I don't know why more people don't use it. More bands don't use it, because instead of Spotify where you get 1 cent for every 5 billion plays and some rich cunt gets all the fucking money, not you. Bandcamp, you can buy the album. Say you want to buy this album, right? You can buy the digital one. Buy a digital album. Yeah. Oh, I've already owns it. I already own it, that's why. 12-inch vinyl you can buy for 40 bucks. 40 bucks Australian. That's like $3 American. Or more. If you want to buy it, you can enter how many you want. You can friggin' choose the colour. And you can enter 500 bucks if you want to support the band. If you really like the band, you can give them basically donations on there. You can buy the vinyl. They've got bulk deals. You can get multiple albums. And you can get a t-shirt along with it. CDs even. They're still making CDs, believe it or not. CDs are coming back, baby. Don't get rid of your CDs. Cassette even. They're doing cassettes. So Bandcamp's awesome. I buy stuff on there. Sometimes buy stuff on Discogs, but it's pretty expensive and the shipping's a bit exorbitant sometimes. But there's so much shit on here. I don't give a fuck about Guns N' Roses' new fucking album or whatever. This is what I'm all about. I want bands where I can go and see them, and I don't know, it just feels real to me. When you go to a stadium gig, seeing, I don't know, Chili Peppers or whatever, it's like a pantomime. It just doesn't feel real. It feels like you're watching a screen, even though the people are really there. I don't know why, but yeah. Ambient. I love the ambient music on here. There's someone called Annie. Is someone to listen to? I've got a bunch of music on there. Where's my collection? Brutius, yeah. That's fellow Tex band. It's like progressive stuff. The Hammer Bombs, they were cool. The Morrisons. So they're like a bluegrass band. I went to school with those, or one of those guys, the lead singer. Adam Miller, he's another great jazz guitarist here from Sydney. 72 Legions, that's my man Karen Murphy's band. Fucking chugs. I got the whole Adam Miller back catalogue. I didn't realise how many albums he has. Hiatus Coyote, they're fantastic. Jen Clower's new album, very New Zealand inspired. Sol Kiri's previous album, Mount Pleasant, they're all named local suburbs. Rose Carlio, she played at my brother's wedding. Gillian Welch, of course. Phronesis, fantastic jazz band. Golden Age of Ballooning, they are awesome. Crangs, it just gets faster. That's my mate Carlo's band. Fucking legend. Another chug band. Wilco, a bit of Wilco stuff on there. Opium Lord. Look at my music taste variability champions. It's all over the place. Bells Will Ring. I did a Atari reel-to-reel tape machine for them, and I went to school with those guys. Dead End America. Go and check the track listing on that one. I think you'll know why I like that band. Emma Ruth Rundle. She is fucking awesome. I love her stuff. She just released a new album too. I'll have to check that out. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I've got to stop listening to podcasts that piss me off and just go back to tuning out and listening to music. It's getting a bit hard to swallow the news these days. Laura Marling, she's fantastic. One of my mates in Port Lincoln's band, Hinter's Will. And there's CJ Stranger that I was just talking about. That's Cameron Henderson. Another Jen Clower album. Koza, Space Slug. You can see the different moods I went through over the years when I was buying stuff. So this is when I was going through like just listening to ambient stuff. And it helped me concentrate and learn things and design things and data entry. And Olva, fantastic band. They started off as like a death metal band. Then they went like ambient, like film noir style. Cooking on 3 Burners. I love that album. Cash Savage and The Last Drinks. She's awesome. Somali Yacht Club. They're awesome. And the first album I bought on here, Purge by High Tension. Do you want to have a listen? Alright, I'm definitely going to get a copyright strike on that one, so we'll stop there. But yeah, I like so much crazy different shit. High tension's so good. So who were they supporting? They were supporting the Bronx when I went to go see the Bronx in Sydney. Obviously in Sydney, because that's where I am. So we'll see if we can clean that silicone out of those slots. Those slots, that valve socket. Greetings from Baltimore, Maryland. Maryland, that's where Clutch come from, isn't it? Lovely ballad. You're going to like my son's band, Blood Vial. I already like it. Yeah, it is great production actually on that high tension album. It's very good production. So we've got a gooey socket, mate. A bit of a gooey socket. Glory hole syndrome. So I think silicon's bled through from the other side. I'll see if I can get some off with a toothpick, but you can see it's in the actual valve pinhole, so I'm glad I did remove them. Look at these toothpicks. They fucking in the bin. What's it? You think? What's this? Splintery piece of shit. Fucking $2 store toothpicks. Gotta go get some good toothpicks. Maryland, home of PRS. What was the other things made in Maryland? Is there a... Where's Westwood? No, that's Portland, Oregon. Hang on, customer. So power slinkies. Yep, just one pack of them, was it? No worries. How's the amp treating you, Cliff? Yeah, good. Good to hear, mate. I'll keep asking.
It's going well.
Just $17.95 for them. There you go, sir. Ah, yeah. At least it's only a head, I guess. Oh, just up the top there. Yeah. Beauty. There's your receipt for that one. No dramas at all. Alright, take it easy. Good to see you. Old mate Cliff restored his Fender Bandmaster head a while back. Well, look, good while back actually. I'd only just opened the shop, I think. I thought I'd give you the Brad's Guitar Garage customer experience. And unmuted my mic there for you. Hard to find good toothpicks. Not really. I think I got these from the local $2 shop because I was passing by and I didn't expect them to be this shit. Don't know. It never really occurred to me that you can get shit toothpicks. I thought it was one of those things that just always was just a sort of base level of acceptable. Guess not. So yeah, I took the deluxe reverb home, thought I built, and I was going to keep the Princeton reverb, but I don't know. I think the deluxe reverb's a bit more up my alley, because I like the way the long tail pair breaks up a bit nicer than the Cathodine. So I might keep that one, because I can't really sell it, because it's a Tone Master cabinet. whereas the Princeton was a scratch build, the whole thing. So I'm a bit less, you know, hesitant to sell that if I did, even though it is a lovely amp. So that, with a Friedman BEAD in front, we'll do the metal thing. Or with a Maxon OD9 in front, we'll do the rock and blues thing. And that's about all I need, champions. You know? You can sell it, mate. Yeah, I can sell anything, but I don't know. Just doesn't feel right selling a Tone Master with a rebuilt amp inside it. If they're available at the $2 store, their quality is already questionable. Yeah. I didn't have a mental idea in my head of how much toothpicks should cost to get quality toothpicks. But now I do. I'll be more cognizant next time. You know what? I kind of lied to you. I said the deluxe reverb was at home, but it's still in the van. I could go get it and you can have a listen if you want. Got the mics and everything. Suppose we could do that. This is a get your mind off the world stream, so the longer we can do that, the better. Can't believe it's fucking Friday. Crazy. Alright, those pots are a bit scratchy, and Mesa loves to do that thing where the pots touch the chassis. Never buy condoms at the $2 store. Yeah, because they ship them along with the toothpicks, and they end up, you know, they can't afford 2 different shipping containers, so you end up with holy condoms, sponsored by the Catholic Church. What was the Monty Python song? Not a single sperm will be wasted, or whatever. So see how close they come to that lip there. Often you find an amp that's been like purchased new by the customer, and like the presence control doesn't work or something, and they're like, yeah, it never really did much. And then you open it up, and it's because the fucking terminal's touching the touching the chassis. So that's something to be aware of in a lot of different model messes. Any sperm is sacred. That was it. Every sperm is sacred, yeah. I should watch that again. Shell and I always watch Robin Hood Men in Tights. At least like once every 2 or 3 months or something. Although watching Aliens has become my sick behaviour. Whenever I've got the flu or something, I watch the started off as trilogy, the Alien saga. I think I mentioned that before. Contour. Oh man, that is touching. Might be a ground connection anyway. I've been lurking here for a few weeks after watching from Psionic channel. Oh, welcome, mate. A little bit less cultured over here, a little bit more fly by the seat of our pants, but that's the Australian style. I hope you can understand the accent. I know a lot of people sometimes can't. Don't know how. I'm very well spoken for an Aussie. You haven't heard me say yeah, nah once in this stream, so... Oh yeah, man, Alien was fucking scary. I think Alien wasn't as scary because there was an alien. Aliens was scary as fuck as a kid because they were like overwhelming the sentry guns. I remember that scene forever because I was into electronics obviously, and I always had a fetish as a kid for like digital displays. So that's why I like Back to the Future so much. You know what? The flutes of these knobs are filled with finger cheese. I'm gonna give them a clean. It's really gross. So yeah, the sentry guns with their counting down the ammo as the aliens were figuring out how to get the guns to waste the ammo. That was scary. They mostly come out at night. Mostly. Why does she sound English? What was her name? Newt. Newt. Beauty. Yeah, I did say beauty. Go back to the knob cleaning station. Might go for a walk and get a coffee once the smoke clears a bit more. Normally don't mind the smoke, but when I'm sick it's a bit much. That's only in the director's cut version, really? Huh, I must have been watching the director's cut then. Where am I going to put this Super Room poster? Need like another... Need like a whiteboard, like a notice board somewhere. Suppose I could put it up right under the open sign. That'd work. Yeah, I need like a gig. I need like a gig board. Got a nice little laminated poster from the gig last weekend. I wanted to get them to sign it, but they were busy. I didn't want to bother them. Sometimes it kind of disappoints me how sort of like organised my shop is. I kind of wish I had one of those real bohemian fucking Aladdin's cave type shops with shit everywhere, just because it's kind of cool. Let my knobs soak for a bit. Just check the pots for tightness. If a single sperm gets wasted, God gets quite irate. That's right. Alright, everything's tight. So the silicon got into the socket by someone squirting it in that hole. As to why they did that, your guess is as good as mine. No idea. Was it microphonic? Was that someone's idea of repairing it? I don't know. Just go give my knobs a scrub. Now. Stop with the high school humour. Only I'm allowed to be an immature dickhead. I stole Michelle's bananas today. I thought they were mine. Now I've got 4 and she's got none. I've been having a lot of customers these days where I send them a quote and they turn up to pick up the job. I think a lot of people are probably just worn out from the information overload every day, and they find it hard to read the details. Man, it's pretty gross once you put them in water. All the finger cheese in the flutes like rehydrates. It looks really gross. I remember drooling over this particular amp back in the day, thinking it's like the perfect amp. It's got everything you could ever need. Little did I know. This one's not too bad. Oh, fuck. It's just one thing that was wrong with it that goes wrong with pretty much all of them. This is probably one of the less shitty messes. It's reasonably easy to repair. Lifting the board's not like the end of the world, because it doesn't have 500,000 features. The Blue Angel was pretty good too. That's the one where you can switch between 6v6s and EL84s, I think it is. You can do it like per channel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of all the channel assignable bullshit. Just build an amp. It sounds good, bro. Of course, my nose starts running because my hands are busy. The making of Aliens is funny to watch. I haven't seen that yet. Springtime there. Where are you, mate? In the US? I don't know where Magisterium is. It's normally around, lurking around somewhere. Oh, you're from Maryland, that's right. Sorry, goldfish memory kicked in again. Sorry about all the sniffling, champions. Probably shouldn't have done a live stream, but just felt like it. This is the Mesa Express 550. Not a bad amp. It's got all the usual dumb Mesa shit, but it's one of the not so bad to work on ones, because it's relatively spacious inside that chassis, and you can lift the board if you need to. A lot of the stuff's just got connectors on it, so you can lift the board up and work on it properly instead of having to work on it from the top and damaging stuff all the time. This one just had a shorted tantalum, as they often do. Yeah, this is one of the messes that in a pinch I could maybe bear with owning, if there's such a thing. Pardon me. No 4 times opto stacks. No, there's no optos in this one at all, actually. I know. You used relays instead. But the way they use the relays is yeah, it's got problems as well. So they'll put plate voltage on the relays, like 400 something volts on some of them. Not a good idea, especially when it's DC. They're not switching a load on, you know, on and off, but they're sitting floating at plate voltage, the relay, and look, it's probably fine, but it's not recommended. I'm starting to get a headache. Pop like fireworks, yeah. It's just literally the way they've implemented it. You can have voltage reference resistors either side of the relay, and you avoid that. That's what I did on my Poke no Lostos. I was switching the input of the switching the output of the phase inverters, and using the grid leak for the output valves. I put half the value on the PI side and double the value on the PI side and double the value. So say I wanted a 220 grid leak on the grid of the 6v6s. I'd put 470 on the actual 6v6 to ground, and then I'll put 470 on the phase inverter output, so they've both got the same reference to ground. When you click between channels, no pop. So they could have just done stuff like that and not had to have the whole muting, because all these FETs are like a mute pulse circuit. It sends a pulse to all the gates on the FETs, and that shunts the signal to ground for the fraction of a second that you switch channels to, in order to stop the popping from the relays, which could have been stopped by just having proper ground references either side of the relay, and therefore you probably have probably a 20 or 30 less components on this board. So they had to create this whole mute system throughout the whole board, which takes up traces, takes up room, in order to solve a problem that they could have just solved by being competent. But no such luck there. I'm not saying I'm smart or not. I'm not a designer. I'm pretty fucking dumb in the scheme of things, but I wouldn't do that. I won't do that. So the other reason this one's not a bad one is because there's no carbon comp resistors in it too. Like at all. They're all carbon films. I think they're Allen. Oh, there's one carbon comp. Oh, told a lie. That's been replaced though. I can see the flux on the top of the board. So someone's put a 100k plate load in there. Floated it above the board. And there's another one down there. So that might be factory, but Mesa wouldn't float it above the board. Mesa wouldn't install it from the top either. So that's a mystery. So I'll check them for drift. Because those ones from CE distribution, wherever they get them from, they love to be really low in value. And then they drift really high in value. And that's 108 ohms, 108k, sorry. And that's 112k. It's not the end of the world. That's probably within their standard sort of drifting range. Not drifting, tolerance range. Couple of silver micas there, but they're the CDM brand that we can trust. Excuse me. Just examining anywhere where it looks like there's been work done before. There's solder splashes on this board. I don't like the look of that. Oh, that's that plate connection that goes through the relay. Yeah, that's another example of what you don't do. But I won't do that. Yeah, I wonder what that was. Does anyone want to speculate? I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that. Don't know. Pegging, maybe? Maybe she was a pegging aficionado. Hey, whatever. Whatever floats your goat. Losing weight. Don't speak ill of the dead. He was a good man. And his name was Robert Paulson. He's actually Scott Ian from Anthrax's father-in-law. He's married to Pearl, Meatloaf's, I think, adopted daughter. Alright, so just got a bit of a solder splash stuck to that relay, but the soldering looks okay. I don't think we'll need to redo that. And I'll just get rid of the bits of solder that are stuck to the relay. Because I don't want them to go loose and float around in the amp. Have you seen the guy who plays Meatloaf in the musical? He's about 11 stone in weight when wet. What's 11 stone again? Is that heavy? I don't even know. You guys didn't see him play the grand final over here in Australia, though, did you? If you haven't, I'd advise you not to watch it because it'll ruin your memory of him. Just love what you've got. I can see paradise by the dashboard light. Who was the chick that sung on that? She sounded really hot. I think it's just the subject matter of the song, though. Love the life. I remember my cousins who were like, I don't know, 10, maybe 8 years older than me. They were obsessed with Meatloaf, Guns N' Roses. None of them were into grunge though. They were just into like the mainstream stuff. All grand finals are shit. They've crap fallback, multiple delays to sing to. Yeah, yeah, probably. But he was really bad. He was like breathless, like he was like physically hitting his limit. I was actually pretty surprised by, speaking of older artists, pretty surprised by Robert Plant's current stuff he's doing. He's not quite doing the full Leonard Cohen thing, but it's tasteful with, what's the name? Kraus? I forget her first name. But I thought, this would be shit. And then I listened to it, I'm like, it's actually pretty good. Alison Krauss? Alison? The original vocal on Paradise was Ellen Foley. Ellen Foley. What's Ellen Foley up to these days? Oh, she's a bit of a choocher. Yeah, she's 73 now. Fucking hell, time flies, eh? That's actually, like, exactly who I pictured when I heard the voice. It's like, she looks exactly like her voice. Hang on, I'll share the screen. Like, that's like exactly who I pictured when I heard. Huh. Well, there you go. Sometimes life is like that. Yeah, Plant has kept himself together, eh? I think they got all their rat baggery out of the way early and then just, yeah. A little bit too late for Aussie, though. Went a bit too hard. Wonder if he had to go with her. Yeah, I guess we'll never know now. Alright, so everything's looking relatively sturdy. They do use a little bit of silicon on stuff, which is actually good. Like I applied silicon to my boards the other day. Marshall tried to use like a hot glue to the base of the component, but it literally, you just move it once and it cracks and falls off. So you need something flexible and sticky, and silicon's perfect for that. So you can see there, I put a little bead up between each run of caps, put them close together on purpose for that reason, just to stop any vibration. Now they're all sort of like glued together as one chunk, but it's still flexible. So, and then down here, to stop any lead fractures, just a little bit on the ceramic caps there. Try and position the tall parts next to each other so you can do that. See there, I do them in pairs. Yeah, it's all just stuff I think about when I'm laying a board out. You got some off by their lonesome, but that's got thicker leads anyway, and the little ceramic down there is just silicon to those film caps. So yeah. Anyway, so silicon's good. Hot glue not. And the worst is the Sony bond, that brown goo shit that they used in the hi-fi amps that becomes conductive. I think it was called Sony bond, for obvious reasons. Alright, let's fire this thing up, take some measurements, have a listen. We've got 8 ohm load, 8 ohm, put it in 50 watt mode, there's a 5 watt mode as well. I don't know what mechanism they use to get to that setting. I suppose we can have a look at the schematic. Compare the component. Yeah, so even though they've got a smaller board on this one, and this is a relatively sparse Mesa, you look at the component density, and bear in mind this is a TSL 100 board, so quite a bit going on here too. And that's my layout. Heat generating parts spaced as far away from everything as we could. And you got the slots there for the isolation between the critical pins on the output valve sockets. You got parts lifted above the board for ventilation, And so if they do go wrong, they don't burn a chunk of the board. It's all just standard practice. There's nothing special about it, but a lot of manufacturers don't do it. Unfortunately, a lot of people saying, "Oh, why do you think everything's shit?" Because it kind of is. Don't know what to tell you. Noise suppressor back on. I just turned it off when Tim was here. Alright, some power. Get this one off the bench, then I'll maybe go and grab my deluxe reverb, because you've all been good little boys. And maybe one or two girls. Alrighty then. Got a handy way to measure the plate current, not really. Oh, this is that annoying one where you've got stuff going to the other board. Let me just get the schematic. Ace Farley. Look like Chris Farley and Ace Frehley's love child. PRS do make some beautiful guitars. So I don't see that many of them, actually, to be honest. I probably only see like maybe two or three a year, if that. There's not many out here. Schematics. M for Mesa Boogie. Mesa. Oh, Mesa Engineering. Express 525, 550. Let's just get the whole folder. See if there's any service bulletins while we're at it. Doesn't look like it. Holy shit, have I got a PCB layout? Ha! Look at me! Fucking pulling out the big dongs now. PCB layout. I feel like a fucking hacker. I don't know if this is our same PCB here. No, I'm seeing some differences. So this ain't the board we've got, because this board we've got in front of us is one of the old hand laid out ones. So why would they have a digitized layout when all of this is done with tape or whatever? But yeah, I don't have. Yeah, this layout's completely different. So that's not our amp. That's Rev 2. We must have a Rev 1. Nice if they put revs on there, but they don't. Come on. Open the fucking file, please. Righto. Why have I got KiCad open? Oh, new version. Remind me later. KiCad and their new versions. Every couple of weeks is a new version. It's good if they fix stuff. Alright, schematic time. So, oh, don't open that. Desk share. Handy dandy block diagram. But what I want to look at is the plate connections. So, you just got the silly Dynawatt or whatever they call it system. I think so. Node E and F, F being the bias feed. Oh, and they did this silly thing how they create a voltage divider. It's like 2.2 meg, but you're supposed to have a grid stopper over there, bro. So yeah, that creates a voltage divider. On other amps, it's actually pretty crippling because they don't know what they're doing. So here, that's a voltage divider. Not only does it divide the DC, but it divides the signal. So you got this stupid setup here. So instead of having a normal cathode bias, well, a long tail pair, I should say. I don't know why the fuck they do this. It's just to be different, I guess. So they can copyright it and patent it and try and charge people if they use it. But here you've got 3 volts there, and you got F, which is your bias feed there. So this trips up a lot of people, myself included. What's the? Oh, that's the 550. That's the 25. Come on. All right. So what? There's no grid leaks on that one. Oh, so I've realised I don't need them on that one. So this right here is a bit scary as well. You've got your bias feed here, no connection, normally open. Oh, it's got the same deal up here. So that's for your different, that's probably for your 5-watt mode, would it? So there's the Zener on the rear board. That's your relay on the rear board. You got 2 screen grid resistors on the main board. I am sharing this, aren't I? Yeah, sweet. Panel switch 550 watts. So when you're in 5-watt mode, you've crippled one side. So you put a 1.6K 25-watt resistor, which is bolted to the chassis on one side, and you've essentially crippled your output stage. And that's the class A. So that's how they do it. You got a Zener there, which would drop your screen voltage as well. So that's a lot of relays to all do shit all at the same time, risking damaging your output stage if one of them doesn't work right. Like this one here, for example. So if it's normally closed there, and that's normally closed, that's your normal mode. Then when it opens up, it grounds the grid. Well, it doesn't ground it, but it goes via the 330K there. So you lose a bias supply on one side, but then you got that resistor there. So that doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense, really. Push pull. I don't know. You have to know what state these switches are in. Some of these, it doesn't show what's normally open, what's not. So, yeah, anyway, it doesn't sound very good anyway. So, point being, when we go into 5-watt mode, we will see one side dissipate fuck all. So there we go. I was just trying to determine what we should expect to see. Anyway, no one's paying attention to me. You're all just speaking amongst yourselves, so I'll just battle on. I'll just solder a little test point into the plate connections right on the socket there. Because that one, go into continuity mode, is that connection there, which is currently connected to the brown via the relay. Just got a bit of bus wire. I'll just make some little hooks. I had some floating around here that I used for this purpose, but what's an inch of bus wire between mates? Let's make a little J to attach the probes to. Temporarily, I'll remove it when we're done, so I can measure the dissipation on the output and make sure the 5-watt mode's working as expected. Just see the relay. Oh yeah, the stiletto's off its fucking head. Switching won't wear a tube down. What happens is when one of those relays fails to switch properly or quickly, you can have a sort of unknown state that the valves are operating in. So the line 6 DT25 stuff, you know, the Bogner design stuff, the Alchemist, whatever the fuck it's called as well, does that. So it switches between fixed and cathode bias depending on your channel assignments. That's great, but you've got two separate relays controlling the bias feed to the grids as well as the cathode, you know, bypassing in and out the cathode resistor on the cathodes. If one of those switches, say the grid relay fails and it's stuck to like fixed bias mode, and then it introduces a cathode resistor to the output, now you'll have a massively like muted output stage. It'll be biased really cold and not put out much power. But say the other thing happens and the cathode, which there's a bit of current there, the cathode relay fails and it leaves it in fixed bias mode, so directly to ground, and then the front end switches over to cathode bias mode, so ground. So now you've got complete runaway of the output stage. You've got no bias supply and you've got a grounded cathode. And then you'll blow a fuse or worse. If one of those fails, or the signal controlling them fails, or the contacts get sticky, yeah, you can do some serious damage. So I like to just lock it to one mode or another. So just, do you want cathode bias? Do you want fixed bias? I'll just lock it to that mode and then literally remove the relays and put some jumpers in their place. Don't really have a convenient place for the B+. Maybe I'll just go straight to the cap. They are 300 volts, so they'll be in series. We should have a direct connection if standby's on to there. Sweet. So I'll just connect to that cap. Handy dandy little terminal point. The Fluke. Should hear a little pop from the speaker when we attach the meters to the primary. It uses a little voltage to the resistance there. So listen carefully. I've got the mic active. We're in resistance mode. Oh, hang on. I'm going into the dummy load. I'll go into the actual speaker. That'll help. A little pop. Crank the gain right up so it's more obvious than in actuality. So we'll go 70, I don't know, 77 ohm. Remember that figure for me, champs. 77, switch it over to voltage. I'll just use a probe on the HT. Put the dummy load in. Fire it up. Fire it up. Got 460 volts there currently because the there's no connection. It's in standby mode. When we turn that on, it'll go to the actual voltage drop. Yeah, Zildjian are pretty cool, Wes. I'm pretty sure Zildjian's one of their brands where there's no minimum buy. So if I wanted to like put one symbol in the shop, I could. A lot of these fucking companies are like, no, you have to spend $100,000 on your first order and then $50,000 every month after that. Otherwise, you lose your dealership. There's a small shop. It's just not sustainable. So the world's pretty hostile to small shops. Unfortunately, everyone laments not having them, but every corporation does everything they can to make sure that they don't live. 72 watts. A little bit of a mismatch there, but let's switch it over to 5-watt mode. See what happens. So one goes up to like 90 millivolts. The other one goes down to 90 volts because it's got the massive resistance in series with it. So that's the side that's off. So it looks like a massive voltage drop, like holy shit, we're drawing so much current, but there's only a massive voltage drop because there's a huge resistor in series with it. And the other one goes up to like, goes to 120 millivolts. Doesn't seem right. It is right, it's just Mesa. So let me just double check all of that. So we've got, so that'll switch on to would make more sense if I attach that side, not to the valve socket, but to that resistor. Can't get a bloody probe on there though. 1.8, there we go. Try that again. No, it goes up to 90, other side of the resistor. Get on there. So that goes up to 4 volts. That's the actual drop on the transformer itself because it's on the transformer side of that resistor. You'll have to have a think about how that works because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but we'll test it in full power mode. That's that one. .8, 2.4. What was it? 77? 2.3 divided by 77. 29 milliamps. Plate 2. Plates a cathode voltage of 434. 4 on the floor. $13 watts, so pretty cold, only running around 40%. That's Mesa for you. They often buy us around, it's pretty cool. Give it some signal, check the power output. Have a look at the waveform. Being clean channel. Ooh, very dirty pot. Still haven't cleaned them yet, so. 14 volts in 8 ohms, really? Oh, it's in crunch mode. It's more like it. 16 volts RMS. 32 watts, so that's Mesa marketing watts again. Let's put the contour. Let's turn the contour down. Yeah, it's still about 16. Notes. See what happens to the waveform in 5 watt mode. Actually, surprisingly linear. It works. I'll have to figure out what exactly the output stage, the operating point is there. Does what it says on the tin. It's a 550. Stand by, play. Five watt mode. It's rounding off at about 3.5 volts. 3.5. This is more like 1.5 watts. If you push it in a hard clipping, it's like 4 volts. Which would be 2 watts. Right, B plus, C plus. Oh, God, sorry about my nose, champions. All right, I'm back. God damn. God damn. 437. The next node being the screen, 435. Check them for ripple. .3. And screens. Very low. 25. Say 25. Look at volts. What are volts? All right, preamp node. How many caps have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 10 microfarads, 10 microfarads. Oh my god, how many microfarads? 316. 316, that's the same node. Same node. Yeah, 390. Ugh, I hate when the leads slip, man. 80 millivolts. Radio. Some 275 watts. In standby. 43. The mains today is 240.1 volts. Let's have a listen. Turn the master down. It's currently maxed out. Everything 12 o'clock, including the contour. Channel 1 clean, then crunch. Channel 2 blues, then burn. Alright. Put the contour on for both channels because mess without a contour sounds fucking horrible. Boxy, nasally, fucking 700 hertz in your face hole kind of deal. Just mute my mic. Sorry about that. The bloody postie lady was behind me trying to get my attention. And here's me cranking up a guitar amp. She thought it was funny. So this is the clean channel in 5 watt mode now. Don't know, not really my thing, eh? Just a bit flubby and no real pick attack or clarity. Just my taste though. Anyway, let's get. Oh, sorry, didn't mute myself. Anyway, I'll clean the pots and get her on her way. Just check that none of them need replacing. I think mainly just that master is pretty scratchy. I'm going to go get a bite to eat. It's 12:20 PM. Yeah, the 5-watt mode, it sounds broken. It does a bit. It sounds a bit like the sound samples I've heard of the Gibson Falcon 5 or whatever it is, the 5-watt thing. Falls over a bit, but you know, if you push the 5-watt amp hard enough, of course it's going to fall over. Used to fix VCRs. Kids like to put buttered toast in the slot for some reason. Well, get it a little bit more toasted, you know. They probably see it come out of a slot, goes back into a slot. It doesn't sound bad, Joe. It just sounded a little bit sort of well, a little bit boxy. Just I don't know. The Marshall circuits just sound so much nicer and they're so much simpler. You got all of this to do what a 1987 with a master volume can do with like 1/10 of the parts. But yeah, you got your channel switching and stuff. So anyway, I'll leave it here, champions. So I'll see you on the next one. My voice has got to recover. I'm starting to lose my voice, I think, with this cold. I don't think I'll live stream tomorrow as a result, but you never know. Keep an eye out. I might do. See how I wake up. Yeah, it sounds good on full power. Overall, it's probably one of my favourite Mesa amps, this one, I guess. You heard it here first. This and the 25. I think this one's better because it doesn't flog the fucking EL84s like rented mules. So the 50 Mesa just has that high gain stuff going on no matter what. Well, not really on this one. I find the high gain on this one actually doesn't sound that good at all. But hey, things, you know, stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, legends. Go and live life. Try not to watch the news because it's all pretty depressing. Take it easy.